All right. So we'll wait for people to stream in. But what's going on, guys? Welcome to 2KW. I guess is the name we've been workshopping all year. Reed put 2KW.
Ooh, I like
Uh,
it. I
that that's
like
that's good
it.
because I kept saying TKW 2K pregame show, and that is a mouthful. So 2KW probably streamlines that
This
considerably.
this is new to me. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So I'm all in on that. Good call, Reed. But so welcome. I'm Kyle Maggio. I'm with Jess Reinhardt. What's going on, Jess?
What's going on, man? How we doing?
Good. Ready to get a little 2K in here. Hopefully we can.
Absolutely.
All right. So they're in Indy today, right?
Uh, I think so, yeah.
All right. I could be the Pacers.
Oh, you're just gonna. All right, all right, all right.
You could be them if you want, and I could be the
No,
struggle Knicks.
it's all right. I'm struggling. They're struggling.
All right.
Just keep it. I gotta go. Oh, shoot. I gotta go City Jersey though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with these. These look good. These look crisp. I'm all set here. I'm amped to use Oladipo here today, who he's finally back from his injury as of the 12th of December. So
Mhm. Yeah, it's funny. I was looking back on the first time the Knicks played the Pacers this season, and it's very vivid in my mind because it was Halloween and it was the day I moved to New York City. So like, I just remember everything about that day, and then watching the game. It was a pretty crazy game from what I remember. Like Sabonis went for 30. Um, and it was funny because I was looking at like who was starting back then. You know, Knox was still hurt, I believe, but like Mitch and Frank were starting, and it feels so different between then and now.
yeah, the Knicks City unis are just
Oh,
so clean.
I know. I'm debating on because I think it's time to get my first Knicks jersey, but it's the classic debate of who do I get because I kind of figured my first jersey would be KP, but like he hasn't actually worn this jersey because he actually hasn't actually played.
This
So
is
I don't know
true.
how I feel about that.
Well, I mean, you got two schools of thought. So the first being, he hasn't played in it. It's not worth a whole lot. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Or B, you can go with the straight up novelty of it, like leaning into that, like, yeah, he never wore it, like
That's true. I
that,
like that. Go
like
Cantor,
like when
jeez.
people get those Hornets Kobe jerseys that never existed.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's a little bit more extreme, but you could lean in a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, okay.
It's great defense. So Frank is gonna play tonight.
Right.
Mitch is out.
Mitch is out.
Lance is in. Burke is in. Um, who else?
Trier's
Trier is
out.
out. Dotson's out. They had the Knicks PR had a tweet detailing who was in and who was out, and it was six
Yeah.
guys who were injured. So Burke, Lance, and Frank were in but injured. Um, obviously,
Oof.
obviously everybody was hurt there, but uh, Dotson, and oh shit,
Oh, okay.
yeah, Dotson, Trier, all those guys are out and injured. But it read like somebody tweeted
Mhm.
us that it read like a football injury report before the game.
Yeah,
And I thought that was a really good point.
like where they put everyone on the injury report, even if it's not even
I mean,
necessary.
it was half the active roster. Literally half the active roster was. Yeah, I mean, there's 12 guys who are active. You know, I mean, that's not really what you want.
Yeah.
But I'm glad
Hey,
Frank's
maybe
okay.
Cornette comes in and has a big game again. You never know.
The Luke Cornett show last
Situations.
game was just a joy to watch.
So much fun. Like, how could you not have fun watching that?
Like Moutier was having the time of his life, so that was already good.
Right.
But you know, seeing Cornette basically get, you know, his first opportunity this season and just kill it was
Yeah.
always fun.
I I saw a quick video on Twitter. Someone was interviewing Cornette in the locker room after, and I forget who was next to him. It was another player, and Cornette was being like very humble, talking about like, you know, the team putting him in a position to like do that stuff and all that. And whoever was next to him was like, "Nah, man, brag a little," or like something like that. It was really funny.
No, he seems like a good guy. All the interviews I've seen, um, the way he plays, he seems like decent enough guy. So I mean, seeing him get a chance and excel is always fun. I like seeing any of
Yeah.
these G League guys get to come up here and excel like that.
Yeah. It's kind of like when like a when a walk on like in college like comes in and gets to play. I feel like depending on who it is, like with Cornette, it kind of feels like that. Like everyone's just always super happy for him if he has a good game.
Yeah, I, I mean, it's nice, and I've been really big for a couple of years of the logic that despite the Knicks struggling from the a big league perspective, they've somehow had a very successful G League. So the
Yeah.
Westchester Knicks are very well run, very well coached. They
Yeah.
have more talent than pretty much every other G League team.
Oh.
They develop their guys really well. So for me, like I like how much the big league guys, the NBA level guys, believe in all the guys that are coming up. You know, we saw with Burke, they
Yep.
fully believed in Burke. I mean, he was an NBA lottery pick, but he still had to go through that system. You know, Dotson spent some time in there last year, and these guys love Dotson. Seeing it now with Cornette, just the same kind of thing again. We've seen Hicks come up, guys like Hicks. So just a whole slew of guys, but I've been the Knicks so often that when I was shooting those free throws, I thought you were shooting the free throws.
I know. I was all messed up right there for a second.
It still feels weird to see Doug McDermott, and he only spent half a year with us, but I grew to love him so dearly with how well he worked with Kyle O'Quinn
Oh yeah.
that it bugs me to see him in a Pacers uni.
Right. No, for sure. And I think he's done decently in Oh, come on. In Indiana, right?
Yeah,
I
I mean
haven't paid much attention.
I haven't paid a ton of attention. I know he's not playing as much as he would have hoped, but
Yeah, but I definitely think it was a better situation than because he was in was it OKC or
yeah, he was in OKC after the Bulls, and then he came here.
yeah.
Then we traded him to the Mavs, and then he walked and went to Indy for, I think it was a
Right.
3-year, $24 million deal.
Yeah, it was like that first night of free agency, and he was like, it was all these people were waiting for all these big things to happen, and they weren't yet. So then, like the biggest one of that night, I think, was him signing, if I remember correctly. Oh.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna cop a Neil Aquina City Edition. I gotta get somebody City Edition.
Yeah.
I haven't bought
Corvo
a jersey in a
Smokes
while.
jersey is just I've
It's-
never loved something
it's
more
it's
of someone
fire.
else's.
Yeah, it's fire. That's one thing I love about Ant is he when he leans in, he leans all the way in,
Oh yeah.
and boy did he ever, and he got a golden jersey out of it.
Where are we at here? Oh, I thought that went in. Okay. Okay. Take that.
Oh no, that wasn't even me.
That'll work.
So I saw. Did you see that Berman report that came out a couple hours ago?
I did not. I was on the bus here. What I miss?
So Berman had this report that said, "Oh my God, pass the ball." Yeah. Oh God. All right, hold on. I'll tell you in a second. This
Yeah,
is
focus, focus.
a lot going on here.
Oh, get the rebound, Cantor.
So basically the report was Lance Thomas is back and healthy and active, and that
Uh-huh.
suddenly creates a Noah Vonleh problem. And I don't intentionally try to give Mark Berman a hard time,
Yeah.
but he just opens himself up for these kinds of things. And I'm sorry, I don't know how this presents. He called it a Vonleh dilemma, and I'm not sure I understand what the dilemma
Oh, I
is.
think yeah, okay. I don't
Um,
how I don't get how that.
Vonleh's
Huh.
casually flirting with triple doubles the last couple of weeks. He's a good defensive player. He's shooting 50% from deep on a pretty decent clip for his position, where he's shooting a couple a game. So I don't really understand how we got to where it's a dilemma. And I love Lance, and you guys know I defended him at the beginning of the season pretty openly. But Lance isn't going to do anything close to what Vonleh's doing, and Vonleh's also younger. I just don't understand what the logic would be outside of playing a vet for the sake of playing a vet. So, not sure what your take is on it, but I thought that was a little bit silly.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, dump it off. Sorry.
That's like to put to make a better example of it. That's like last year had oh boy, get out, get out, get out, get out. Okay. That's like last year. Had Jared Jack been injured for a couple of weeks, and Frank is playing really well, and then Berman's just like, now we now have a Frank Ntilikina dilemma because Jared Jack is back and healthy. What dilemma
right.
would there have been?
I don't. Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I don't really get what he's trying to go for here. Um. Huh. Interesting. I'll have to go find it and read it. Stats. 27-18. Send out a tweet here real quick from my account. Alright, here. See if I can put something together. Oh, let's get the ball out of Cantor's hands, please. Oh no. Okay.
Go hustle, boys.
Oof. Oh.
I've tipped so many passes and gotten none of them. I'm really encouraged by Kevin Knox yet again because it got lost in the Moutier and Cornet madness. But
Right.
Knox ended up putting up 23 and 3 on like 50% shooting and close to 50% from deep. So he's fucking rolling right now. This is 3 games in a row that he's rolled. So I don't know that I'm buying it totally, that he's come around fully. But, you know, we saw how inefficient he could be. But
Yeah.
I am
I'm sure it's
encouraged.
gonna go in waves. I mean, being a rookie, he's gonna hit a wall at some point again. It's just inevitable. I mean, every player does, I feel like. But
I think my hope is that it's the same thing like with Frank. Like we know these things will come in waves, right? But well, my hope is that, you know, we at least get a couple of weeks of good play and then they
Right.
hit a wall. Where when we
Yep.
do this game to game thing where Knox goes for 26 and then he disappears and goes for 8, or Frank goes for, you know, he had a couple good games, and I thought Frank played fine. I just think he missed a couple of shots last game. But,
Yeah.
you know, but he still had, I think it was 3 points. And as much as I love Frank, you know, it's hard for me to defend 3 points. You got to score in this league, and so if it's game to game kind of stuff. Oh, Corey Joseph was not the guy to alley-oop to. Oh, I thought that was literally anybody else.
Go up with it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he went up
How
soft.
many layups are we gonna miss?
But yeah, no, I like what I've seen from Frank. I like that. I don't ever like that guys are injured, but I like that because so many guys are injured, they have no choice but to trot him out for big minutes at seemingly every position. I don't think
Yeah.
I missed with Doug McDermott, but continue about Frank.
Whatever. Come on, Knox. Oh, come on. Just gonna
Oh
shoot
boy.
it. Oh, heat check from Doug McBuckets. Just
God damn, that boy's
Fizdale,
good.
Fizdale with the just face of disapproval. Unless Fizz is super pumped up, I have a theory that he just always looks confused. Unless
He always
he's
looks a
very
little bit
happy.
bewildered, yeah.
Yeah.
He's either really, really excited, really, really angry, or bewildered.
Like, it's not even, like, even when he's angry, it's more of like a...
I don't know that it's
what
his
is
fault.
happening right now?
I don't know that it's his fault. It's just his face. We all have faces, you know. Like
He
mine
has
for
the... Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say mine for example is everybody thinks I'm angry immediately. No,
You got
no
that
matter
RBF going?
yeah, no matter the situation, everybody thinks that I'm angry. And then I have to like no, I'm
Fizz is
like
just...
yeah, this is a bloodbath of threes. And I'm not even a good shooter in this game, so I don't understand what's happening.
Whatever. Why is it going across court like that? That is not what I'm going for here. He's gonna shoot again. No. Get out of there. Sure.
Oh
let's
my
give him
God,
a
Miles.
Rebound.
I have a couple of rules even during a tank year, and one of
Okay.
those rules is you have to beat Boston, and they've played Boston pretty damn close every time.
Mhm.
So that's fine, and they beat them in Boston. Burke had that big game, so that was great.
Yep.
You got to beat the Heat, and you got to beat the Pacers, and they haven't
Okay.
done the Heat part yet. And the Pacers thing was they gave it away on
Yeah.
Halloween. Oh man. But yeah, you got to beat those teams. All those teams that I'm nostalgic about having rivalries with, like really gritty, nasty rivalries with, you got to beat them, even in a tank year. or at least scrap with them. Show just don't get blown out, you know. But you got to beat these guys. I'm hoping they could take
So what you're
advantage.
saying is don't do what I'm doing right now. That's what
Yeah,
you're saying.
do not do what you're doing.
Okay, fine. I need to start like holding 2K practices, or just
Well, you know, this summer I do want to get. It's not possible during the year, and it might not even be possible during the summer. I just feel like we have a better chance then. Um, I want to try to get a TKW 2K team for like Pro-Am and all that other crap, the playgrounds that they have on 2K. And
okay.
you know, we're kind of, I wouldn't say tight with, but we're familiar with some of the Knicks gaming guys, and I want to see if maybe we can mix it up a little bit.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I don't understand how I can't
My
miss from three.
goodness.
This is a lot of threes. I'm
Listen,
almost starting to feel that.
You're pulling the grandma's boy high score. What does that mean right now on me? And I'm not appreciative of it. And I literally just, I'm just not gonna hit anything. That's fine. That's cool. No, Depot.
Oh God.
My goodness! This is terrible. I'm never volunteering for a stream again. I'm getting absolutely worked. And then you're just gonna come beat me up just because? You're gonna beat up Handsome Frank just because you can right now?
I actually feel really miserable about what just happened. I don't feel good about what transpired. Oh, there you go.
I can make a shot. Look at this. Look at this. And then I'm just gonna, okay. No.
Oh. Oh, even the misses. Luke.
That would have been too good. Oh, we're just, okay. That was all me. Oh, okay, yep. We're just gonna... Oh no. Oh no. This is bad. Mario's getting very angry, and it's kind of worth it to see that happening right on the court. Oh, no! This is terrible.
Well, hopefully this doesn't happen tonight. That would ruin my Sunday.
Yeah, that's, you know, we're just gonna... It's gonna happen here so that it doesn't happen tonight. Oh. Wow. Oh!
Both times I've had emphatic drives with Vic Oladipo. You have swatted it at the last possible second.
It's all luck. I'm not even gonna try to pretend that I knew what I was doing.
All right. So what are your predictions for this game tonight? Ignoring what's happening in front of you.
For this game, oh, it's hard to do, right? I think Moutier is gonna continue his. Oh, I don't know if he's gonna be as on fire as he was last game, but I think he's gonna build off it and hopefully keep it going. Jesus.
Well, that's a good point actually, because he was regressing pretty terribly for the last 10 days or so, and all his everything cratered. His field goal percentage is just cratered. So then he bounced back in a big way last night, and the game before he was inefficient but played pretty well. So now I think is when we get to see which Moutier was the real Moutier. Were you just struggling for a few weeks? Are you regressing back to old form? How much have you actually improved? Like when when the numbers start to normalize, I feel like this is the stretch that's going to tell us a lot.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, because they've had, oh, jeez. I hope obviously it wasn't just a fluke thing, and I do really, it's I'm sure last game was obviously huge for his confidence, and um, just hope he continues to do it. I think, well, Halloween, Tim had a huge game, right?
Tim had a really big
Uh,
game, yeah. I think he had
yeah,
35 that night.
yeah. So hopefully he gets back to okay. You know, maybe not 35, but at least get back to some good production. Let's go up. There we go.
Yeah, right. Let's see if I can get a buzzer beater here.
Well,
All right.
I won the last possession,
You did. You
so
certainly did.
I'm gonna take that. Man, that was brutal.
All right. McBuckets went 5 of 6 from deep and 6 of 7
McBuckets.
overall. Just not what you want. Hazonia was your leading scorer with 6 points.
Oh, that's
You're
terrible.
very
I don't even.
balanced every game. Um,
Well,
all right.
ugh,
Well, we
that's
tried
just
it.
bad.
All right. So
Yeah,
Tip
yeah.
is in about. I
What
mean,
we
it's
got
never they
here?
never really start on time, but they say 5 o'clock. It's probably five
The
ten or so.
scheduled time is 12 minutes from now.
I hate that. I'll always hate it. I always hate it. 7:30 games begin at 7:42 every time, and it's very frustrating.
Mm.
Then just say it starts at 7:42. Don't lie to everybody. We all know by now. You continue to try it at 7:30 as though it means something, and we know it doesn't. It's very very frustrating. Um,
It's for the people who are always late. So when they do show up late, they're not actually late.
fair, fair. All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap up here so we can all watch this game. Make sure you subscribe, please. This is a new thing. We're trying to get going. We have more people watching today, so that's great. But make sure you subscribe. We're gonna try to do this every game. Again, it's difficult for us, but we're gonna try to do this every game. We're gonna be
I
more
don't know how many
consistent with
more
it at least.
times I'm gonna be able to get my ass kicked, so we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we'll practice a little bit, but yeah. But yeah, subscribe. I don't know if there's reviews you can leave on here, but just spread the word for us. Continue to spread the good word, and yeah, and we will be chatting with you guys on Twitter and whatnot during the game. So take it easy.
Have a good one.